Welcome to JMW's Inside Man YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Now, my guest today is Laura Wharton. Laura is a partner within JMW's Employment Law Department. So the Independent Commission has reported on the ECB, and it's a damning report, really. It results in the ECB apologising. What has the report concluded, Laura?
It's been, as you've said, Dom, a very damning report. It's concluded, unfortunately, that there's discrimination that's widespread in the English and Welsh cricket leagues. It effectively has gone on to say that there are 44 recommendations that have come out of this investigation that spanned over a 2-year period, and 4,000 respondents linked into that investigation. And those recommendations are quite a number of things that they've got to do. One of them is actually an unreserved apology for their failings that have been happening. And I believe that's already been released this morning.
And as you say, there has been an apology already. What types of discrimination then have been uncovered?
Again, quite a vast array of different types of discrimination, unfortunately. One specifically that was highlighted was sex discrimination, and the report specifically stated that women were treated as subordinates to the men at all levels of the profession. It did highlight some positives, talking about that it's made significant strides in the game, but it was quite clear on the fact that there's a real lack of representation at female decision makers. There is not a representation in terms of promotion, training, and sponsorships and things like that the women can get access in conjunction with the men. The other area that it talks upon as well is race discrimination. And again, it was really quite stark in the terminology that it used in the report, and said that it has actually failed. It went on to explain that, the black cricket culture isn't there, and that even though there was a report done by Sport England in 2020, which said that the black participation of people was so low that it couldn't actually be reported on. It doesn't seem that any difference has happened from that Sport England report to where we are now, and went on to say, they've got to make a serious plan to revive people being able to access cricket in those ethnic minorities. The final thing that it kind of touched on as well was, although this is not a specific outright discrimination area, they talked about prevalence of elitism or class discrimination within the sport, and how that is stopping effectively the development of people coming through.
And Laura, you're an employment lawyer, and I know personally you're passionate about improving work conditions. What would individuals do, not necessarily in cricket, but more generally, if they're the victim of discrimination?
First thing that individuals need to be able to do is step to their line management or management to raise their concerns. Unfortunately, what we don't want is what seems to have been created here over a number of years. There's a culture and a hostile environment that actually the issue, the alleged allegation, won't be taken seriously. And even if they have stepped forward to raise the allegation, they've just been dismissed outright. So businesses really do need to take allegations seriously. They need to go through a thorough and detailed investigation process, because otherwise it will create a culture of fear where people are not prepared to step forward. There are different types of discrimination: direct, indirect, harassment, victimization. You've got to be looking at what type of discrimination it is, and you've got to really go from the top to bottom of analysing what's going on in the business, from representation to salaries to career progression, and get your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty and produce a conclusion of change, so that those things then don't happen moving forward, which seems unfortunately to have been the case in the report that's been produced.
Thank you very much for your insight, Laura. And if you'd like to contact Laura and the employment law team here at JMW Solicitors, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. Please also subscribe to the JMW Inside Man YouTube channel for the latest legal news, hints and tips. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.